Hello, 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 and welcome to another beautiful day. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. This is a winning world here with Shermanda, and I'm coming again with another great connection. I pray that everyone is doing well. I know the COVID shots are well on their way. There's some that have their shots now. They're feeling a lot more comfortable. They're out here without these masks, but I would advise anyone, I'm not a doctor, but still keep your mask or your shields handy so that when you're in the midst of crowds, you're remaining safe to the best of your ability, because there are different strands out here, and I'm not sure that every shot covers every strand, or if they're going to have to add other things to the shots that we have for the different strands. But anyways, it's just good to see that everyone is out again. They're enjoying life. It's so important to have touch and to have communication, have that connection with people. And I think as I look at the news and different things that are taking place in our society, mentally people are broken. Mentally, someone already has something going on inside them. The pandemic has pushed them over the edge. And we just have to keep each other lifted, continue to pray for each other, and, you know, look forward to seeing the greater on this other side, because I'm sure that there's much more greatness ahead of us, and all that other stuff, you leave it behind. So I'm going to not hold you off any longer. I'm going to welcome my dear friend Ricardo to the live here. Hello, Ricardo. Can you hear me? Can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can't hear anything. Not sure what's going on with the sound here. Can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah.
Unmute. There you go.
Oh,
Your
li-
mic was muted.
no.
How are
Well,
you?
initially had a different mic on, and I took it off, and it automatically muted itself. But I am doing well. I am doing
Oh,
amazing, as a matter of fact.
yes. So what's going on? How has this COVID treated you?
Listen. I'm not really focused on necessarily how it's treating me. It's what I got to do. I was always
Yeah.
told that it's not what happens to you; that it's how you react to what happens to you.
Yes.
So times are changing, just like any other time of my life. I go from a little kid to a teenager to a young adult, an adult, and now I'm going into, way past middle age. But however, every single stage, there's something new. So it's just a different level of our lives, and that's why we got to look at it.
Yes. But you all are
But
doing fine.
yes, yes. We've had some family members, get sick. But it is what it is. We got to take care of ourselves and live our life with faith and not
Yeah.
fear. I think if we just use that philosophy, we're just going to continue moving forward, and just be happy with who you're surrounded with, and with the limited people you're surrounded with today. But having a good old time, can't complain.
And that's interesting that you would say limited. I interviewed someone from Denmark a few weeks back, and she was stating how their government has asked them to pretty much have a core group of like 5 or 6 people and
Hmm.
that they're in contact with on a day-to-day basis at this time. And in actuality, that's what this pandemic has done to most of us. You pretty much are just in contact with your immediate family. But as
Yes.
I stated, now I'm looking around. A lot of people are getting a lot more comfortable because of the
The
immunizations that
vaccine.
we have now.
Yeah.
So where are
Yeah.
you now, Ricardo?
I'm back in South Florida again. I
Oh, I was
recently
thinking you were in California.
no. At the beginning of the year, I moved back. I
Okay.
got remarried, and
I
that was an awesome event. It was two events
okay.
because of COVID. We celebrated here with my wife's Rocio's family here, which
Okay.
was again limited. Um, it was the formal one, if you will, the with the signing of the marriage certificate and all that.
Okay.
And it was strictly her family, and the only one that traveled was my son, which was my best man.
Okay.
And that
Oh,
was an amazing experience. Yes. And then a week later, we traveled back to San Francisco, just my wife and I,
okay.
and we celebrated and we did the whole ceremony all over again with my family there. So we
Okay.
had two weddings in a week, and keeping it safe. And the only ones that really had to travel was my wife Rocio and myself. And obviously, with all the precautionary measures and everything, all the safety that's going on, we 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 did well. We had fun. We celebrated, and with the people we love. And again, limited, but it was amazing.
Oh
And
my
now here
goodness.
I am back in South Florida.
Back in South Florida. Isn't
Yes,
that something? So you all were married during the pandemic.
yes, we got married on November 7th. November 7th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh wow.
So that's what I'm telling you. This we decided to live in faith and not in fear, and because we already had this wedding program, and way
Okay.
before COVID was even mentioned.
Okay.
So we decided to keep it. We just adjusted, and we were fine. We had fun. We actually dedicated more time to each other's family. So it was a beautiful experience, amazing experience.
Seeing you took advantage of that, and that's the thing I feel that a lot of people, instead of focusing on what was taking place, look at the blessing that you were given. And that was
Yes,
what you just said. You spent time with each other's family. You put family first. You made them priority. And I feel that that was the blessing given to everyone to just kind of slow down and
hmm,
enjoy those who are in close proximity, because oftentimes we get so busy with work and you hardly ever see family because you're having to go here, having to do this, and you just don't have the time. And we were given more than enough time, but how many people took advantage of the time
right.
granted?
Yeah, I
They,
see. Unfortunately, I see a lot of folks complaining online or on social media,
mhm,
and they should really spend their time trying to see who else they can connect with,
yes,
and really dedicate their time to them, and listen to what they have to say. And what a better time to do that than now, you know? Then it's just amazing how you can, hey, how are you? Everything's great. Everything's going smooth. We're just at different times. That's all. That's all. It's different times. We adjust and we move forward.
yes. And it's definitely different times, but like you said, you make the adjustments and make it happen. Still make the living a winning for you
Without a
know. I tell you,
without a
women, as long as you have breath in your body and you're able to get up and you're able to think for yourself, you're able to
Yeah,
learn, you're living in a winning world.
absolutely, absolutely. I was just
So what's been
recent.
going on? Go
Well,
ahead, go ahead.
I got back into the work environment. I'm a retail manager, so
Okay.
create some income because I was how should call this time frame, um, character building time frame for a couple of years where I ended up going to Mexico, taking care of my mom. Did that. She's doing great. Came
Okay.
back to the States, and went straight to my brother, my dad in San Francisco, California. That's how I ended up over there. And then all of a sudden, my wife today, back then, reached out, just a simple hello through Facebook. And all of a sudden, it just took off. It just, hey, what are you doing? Well, no, nothing. What are you doing? No, nothing. Well, let's chat and let's visit each other. And all of a sudden, here we are married. So we're truly blessed.
I love it.
Yes,
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I think you were open though. I remember the last time we were doing that team building. I think was the
yeah,
last time that I actually got to see you when we were in that class and at the institute.
hmm,
And you've always just been open. Your heart longed for that, so you drew to you what you needed. No
hmm,
time to hesitate and wait. Just keep it moving.
right. You know
And
what? That's funny. Is that's what we said. At our age, we need to make the best of our life the rest of our lives. So here we are, and that's what we're doing.
Amen. I love it. I love it. So I know you're doing the retail, but I do also know that the two of you are doing something together as well. Can you talk to us about?
Yes, we are. We have done. As a matter of fact, this let's take it back a little bit because this started with you, and I don't know if you recall that you invited me to listen to your podcast at the beginning, and you suggested I should start my own podcast.
Mhm.
And I've been dreaming on that for quite a bit. I mean, that we're talking about what, maybe 3 years ago, Shermanda, when you started this or when you told me this.
Yes.
And, and you talk about living with fear and or faith. I was living in fear. I wasn't ready. I was like, what if? Who am I? All these, you know, not so brilliant ideas come to your head where it's holding you back, and it's nothing but fear. And all of a sudden, when I met my wife, this this came up, and what she was doing, and then combining with what I was doing. Let's start this podcast, and then within a week, we had our first podcast.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but we're talking about 3 years later. So this was, this is where I know and understand that I'm living in faith today and not in fear.
I love it.
Yes, and it started with you, Shermanda, because
Mhm.
that you're the one who put that little seed in my head, and you start a podcast, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Your typical answer, but deep inside, I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, type of thing. And all of a sudden, here I am doing it now. We have a YouTube channel, we have a podcast, but by the way, we have it both in English and in Spanish.
Oh, love it. Oh, goodness.
Yes, yes, and we have a what do you call it? So obviously our web pages, and then a blog. We also have a blog that's in English, and she's had a blog for a while. So I just piggyback on that, and now, but hers was strictly Spanish. Now we incorporate English. I'm part of that now. So a lot of things that we're doing together.
Yes.
And then lately, we just became part of a empowerment group, if you will, for lack of a better description, for Latinas, Spanish strictly. But that's how it started. But now they're open to men as well. So it's like the trainings that we're doing, it's not just for female, it's for males as well, because obviously we know that everyone needs a little help in today,
Exactly.
especially in today's world. So we're having fun with that. Really are. We have another class coming up on April 8th that we're doing, and we just did one early this month. We did one, and just how to face your fears, and start living in, speaking of what I was just saying, how to live in faith and not fear. So we're loving it. It's our calling. So we definitely our purpose, and we enjoy it. We enjoy it a lot, and
Okay.
we're doing it together. And you don't find that very often, a couple doing stuff like this, because we all have our opinions,
Hmm.
and we all want to showcase our teachings. And somehow, some way, we've managed to work that out. And she takes a portion, I take a portion, and we take turns. And at the end of the class, we deliver, and we feel good about it. So that's what we're up to, and it feels amazing. It really does.
Yeah. Well, you're working together. It's nothing like that unity. And it takes a little bit of edge off you doing it alone. And I say thank you for giving me that credit, but I give credit to God because,
Yeah.
I was have been going through, where I couldn't, and haven't been able to work or anything like that, but I'm pressing forward with creating business, creating something, and actually just trying to find, a part-time something here, part-time something there, with someone that's willing to deal with my limitations that I have. But I started it just to tell my story. It's one of those things, whereas I'm at the time it was bedridden for the most part, and just saying, if you can, like Les Brown say, if you can look up, you can get up. And that was my
Yes.
thing. That though I'm laying here on my healing bed, I even had someone to take pictures a couple years back, but it was definitely not a great connection. The person had other ulterior motives, but they took pictures of me lying in a bed, um, because that was going to be part of the story from my
Mm,
healing bed. When
mhm,
so.
mhm.
Uh, but it was one of those things, because I could think, because I still had a drive, I still had, a desire and hope in my heart, even though I was lying there most of the time. I could get up and move around, of course, but sometimes it was just way, way limited. I'm doing a whole lot better, as you can see. I still have my
Yes.
up and down days, but uh, that was the thing, we're overcome by the words of our testimony. So my thing was, if I could show people that though you're in a certain state, be it bedridden or what have you, as long as you have a mind to think, you have a will within you, a drive, a dream, a desire, and you can
Mhm.
learn, guess what? You're winning. So
Absolutely.
facing that faith over fear, the faith has been there. It's just a lot of things were going on, but I thank God I'm coming up and I'm coming out, and I'm
Good for
still
you.
pressing forward to do my little interviews here and there.
Yeah.
I'm
Great job. That's
doing
awesome.
more and more.
Congrats.
Yeah, you have those downtime. So I'm so happy for you. I'm congratulating you on the
Thank you.
marriage, on
Yes.
the YouTubing and podcasting. I want to be able to have you all here together so you can talk about just the
It would,
relationship, how you met, all that stuff. I want all the details.
okay. Okay.
And
So
I
I'm
think
glad
it
I
would be,
didn't share too much, but she'll be able to share a lot of that.
yeah,
So she loves to share.
yeah, don't share it. We won't talk. We're gonna keep it like it is now, but you all can
Right.
tell the details, and be a testimony to someone else that's probably met their lifelong love and may be hesitant to jump out there, but at the end of the day,
Yes.
you got to go for it. So I think with you all being able to share that, that will be awesome. So we'll wait for her
Yeah.
to get
That would
on.
be awesome.
Oh
Outstanding.
goodness. But are you still biking like you were doing before?
I still do it, but definitely not as I used to.
Yeah.
Years ago, it was like 5 days a week I would go out.
Okay. Yeah.
Trying that with nowadays with this new job thing going on,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
doing it maybe once a week, and once a week it's hard to get back into it with once a week. But I do want to get back to it as soon as I get more established or settled in a position,
Mhm.
and go back into biking, because that's something that I would definitely encourage people to find something in their life that
Mhm.
puts them in that space.
Mhm.
And for me, that's what I would come up with, certain ideas, with certain solutions, with certain creativity that, because life happens, it doesn't allow you to do that. And for
Yes.
me, that was the bicycle. So, and it continues to do that. When I'm done with my bicycle riding, I'm physically exhausted, but I feel full. I feel like, wow, that was empowering. That was awesome. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I want to share this. I want to share that. And that's where kind of like the juices flow, if you will.
Yeah.
So I love doing that. Love doing that.
Yeah. I remember you used to do all those posts, and I'm like, man, Ricardo is everywhere with the bike.
Yeah. And South Florida is so beautiful. It's like, why not? It's just,
Yeah.
it's awesome. There's so many different places to go around here. Um, And I find it friendly. There's a lot of folks that might disagree with me as far as the streets being friendly for cycling. You just got to find places. You got to find trails, and you'll find it. And just like anything else in the world, if you're going to look for problems, you're going to find them. But if
Yes.
you keep that positive outlook, you'll find the other ones as well. You'll
That's
find
true.
different routes and beautiful routes.
How do you say you're gonna find what you're looking for? So be mindful of what you're
Yes,
looking for.
absolutely. Shermanda, I can't stop thinking of when we did that ropes course
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
were. Do you remember that?
I tell people about it all the time because you all don't realize when you pulled me up on that thing and allowed me to, you know, I
Just
had made up
glad.
in my mind that if I was just going to do, because I love taking pictures of everything, that I'll just be the camera person down here on my little chair.
Mhm.
And the host guy, the trainer, said, "No, you're going to participate in this too." So I'm like, "I'm
That
not
is
going to
totally
participate."
awesome. No, that was amazing.
It was amazing. You all had me flying out, and after that, and I still say I'm ready to hang glide. I've always wanted to go hang gliding.
Wow. Well, you've shown you can still do it. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that.
You all pulled me up that thing, and they let me go. And then they did it twice. They did it another time.
Right.
You want to do it again? Yes.
Yeah. First we couldn't get you on there, then we couldn't get you off of it. You kept on going. So this is awesome.
But
No,
that
that
train
was
that whole process, I mean, that
yes.
team building is amazing. I mean, I feel
Mhm.
that anyone that has a team of any kind should expose the team to something like that, because you realize that you're not working alone, and you have to trust. Oftentimes we want to guide the process.
Mhm.
You've got to trust the process and trust that those that are on your team can carry their weight too. And
Yes.
you'll be amazed when you can actually do that. So, we had a good time, Ricardo. I mean,
It was
I
awesome.
miss that. I remember, just all we learned in that process, not just the
Yes.
team, but in the institute itself. So, yeah, it's such a
Good
blessing that God
times.
brings certain things into your life for a certain time, and a lot of that stuff is coming to life now.
Yes. I um I told my wife that me joining Les Brown at the time and going through all those trainings and at the
Mhm.
institute um, prepared me for what was coming for the next few years for me.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, there were character building years, but I had the foundation to get me through that.
Yes.
So um, doing those trainings, the courses that we did together, the seminars with Les Brown, that definitely set the foundation what was gonna about to happen for me in my life at that time.
Yeah.
And I got through it. It was awesome. I met an amazing woman. I love her, and I married her, and I'm just having a good old time. So
Mhm.
it's amazing. It totally
Yeah.
is. Nothing short of being amazing. It's incredible. I
And
love
you
it.
deserve it. You deserve it. You
Thank
really
you.
do.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Good times. Good
have
times.
you been in contact with anyone else from the institute?
No. Um, Here and there, once in a while, with Matt. Not too much. Who else? Um, no. I see a couple times. I see him on Instagram, but no, it seems like everybody's just gone their way and moving forward. And
Yeah. You got
but
in and got what was needed, and like you said, it came at a time that it would help propel you through whatever you're
mm,
going through. I
yes,
always say God is my has been, and I thank Him for the foundation, because without Him, I think I would have gone under. Being connected
totally
with
agree.
Les Brown and all the team members, just the positivity of all of that, the
Hmm.
motivation, um, those trainings, it just helped build that foundation, even make it even stronger. And
Hmm.
definitely when life happens, you're able to pick up and press through. It's like going through like a ram, just ramming through, knowing that,
Right?
you know, at the end of the day, there's sunshine on that other side. There's
Amen.
greater. That's what I
Out of,
say. There's greater on the other side.
yes.
We just have to see it, have to embrace it, have to know it, and just have to claim it and walk in it. You know, you got to expect it. If you don't expect something, you're not going to get anything, you know. So
Hmm.
it's walking in expectancy each and every day, that things are getting better. You know, I speak to the body all the time. You're stronger. You're not having the pains. I just speak it, and I feel eventually it's all gonna, you know, it's going to be just what it is. Whereas I'm walking in this life and it's as if nothing ever happened.
Well, you look amazing. You
I
look
feel,
amazing.
I feel today is today. Last couple of days have been really, really good. Like I said, I have my ups and downs, but guess what? When they're good, I reach out and say, who wants to talk today?
And
That's
thank you. Since you brought that up, thank you for inviting me. This is awesome. This is totally great. This to reconnect and to because we did go through some wonderful moments and some wonderful lessons and together the ropes course. There's so many good stuff that we experienced. It was amazing, and we met some incredible people like you. So
like you. Yeah,
thank you, and it's been awesome. It really has,
it has
and just
been.
continue to live with faith and not in fear. And I use that over and over and over because it's easy to fall into that hole of fear, especially
Yes.
nowadays because you know all this new stuff that we're going through, this COVID, this pandemic. It's it's hard. It's change, and people just with change alone, it's hard for people, you know.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when you have this type of change all over the world,
Mhm.
um, there's a lot of fear going on. And social media and news and newspapers and all the above don't make it easier, you know. So it's important that you listen to some good, positive, um, just people in general. Stay
Yeah.
away from the I just call it garbage because that's all it is.
Yes.
It's just go and get empowered or empower yourself. And you're not going to
Yes.
find that through social media or the news or anything like that. Go listen to someone that's going to help you, you know, ram through, like you just said, put you through, get you to the next level, whatever it is. Don't stop. Keep doing it. Follow all the safety measures. You do whatever, everything what the folks are telling you to do to be safe. You know that part, yeah.
Yeah.
Follow that, but everything else, just ignore it.
Yeah. And it's
Ignore
one
it.
of those things that I tell people life can happen and it can be hell. You can go through traumas. You meet sometimes people are just pure evil.
Hmm.
And it's easy to get caught up in that. But my thing is remember all the good that's around you and don't allow your heart to become stony. Don't allow it to take your life because the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So anything that has come to try to knock you off your feet or to take something away from you, look at it as something that's a stepping stone and something that's made you propel even farther ahead because you're
Hmm.
not giving it a place. And don't get locked in life, you know, look beyond it and press on through it because it's greater great people out there than there are
Yes.
the evil. You know, if that
Yes.
weren't the case, it would be a lot more dead people around us. It would be a lot more horrific things taking place. So, you know, they're out there, but
Yeah.
it's not, you know, it's not everyone. So like we know, we met some amazing and beautiful people. There are other people that are not like that, but you don't focus on those. Like you said from the beginning, It's what you're focusing on. It's what you're
Right.
thinking on. You're not letting the COVID be all in all, that this is my life. No, it's not. It's a part of something that's taking place. So what am I to do now to be great within in this
Right.
time? So it's just, it's life. Press through it, and there are more people who love you and who are for you than who are against you. And I just believe that. I'm a strong believer of that.
Totally.
And I thank God that He allows me to not have a stony heart. He doesn't allow me
Mm.
to be pessimistic or just woe is me. No, great it's me, and I'm gonna make it. You're gonna make it, and that's why a winning world was formed. So that people can see that irrespective to what you go through, you're
Yeah.
winning. If you're able to hear this, listen to the stories of the people that are being interviewed here. Hopefully
Mm.
there's that sound that's in the wavelength that attaches itself to a listener that is going through or has thought the same thing that you've thought, and they can see that you're winning on your end and say, you know what, if he can do it, if she can do it, I can do it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's something I do want to share, Shermanda, is that God created a balanced world. He's
Yes.
amazing. The problem is, or the challenge is, that we focus on the negative stuff so
Yes.
much that we don't even pay attention on the positive things that are going. It's well
Yes.
balanced. Take a moment, take a breather, take a deep breath, and realize that, okay, this is probably not so much good news. But if I look around, there's some other stuff that's going on that is really positive that's going to counter off, if you will. Okay.
Yes.
There is a lot of good stuff out there. But unfortunately, we're taught to focus on the negative stuff. And going back to social media and all that stuff.
The
We're taught
news
to
and everything, they live on it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the bad news sells, and that's why the news is out there. Now, that's a whole nother subject that I do not wish to get into. But just take a step back from that
Yeah.
and search. Look around. There's so many good stuff going on that you're going to forget about that. It's going to offset because you're not focusing on it. You're actually focusing on this over here.
Yeah.
And when I tell people, just do that, take a breather. Don't focus on that. Find out. Make an effort. There has to be that effort, okay? Because we get bombarded with all the negative stuff. So
Yes.
it takes an effort from you to go and look and search for stuff like that because it's out there.
Yeah.
It is
And
out there.
remember, sometimes you don't even have to search for it. You just got to remember when it was good. When it wasn't this. Though you
Yeah.
may see this today, but nah, but I remember when it. And I'm gonna hold on to that because that still exists.
Yep.
So, and it is the news. That again, that's why our winning world was birth. I'm like, it's enough of the negative. We're going to talk about the positive over here and only give the good news. Now, it may be some, traumatic things that someone may share that they've gone through, but
Hmm.
at the end of the day, they're showing how they've overcome, how they're winning, how they set the stage to do greater than to just stay in a state of being defeated. So that's what this is all about, is being able to share the good news.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And creating a new circle of influence. And it's not
Yeah.
just the directly the people that you know or are ready to meet, but
Yes.
there's other. I like to include authors as my circle of influence.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the Les Browns of the world, the Jim Rohns, the Darren Hardys, the Simon Sinek's. There's so many out there. Listen to them.
Yeah.
Make them part of your day. That's a circle of influence that we can definitely use,
Yes.
as well as our family members and the few folks that are surrounding. But that should be your circle of influence. Eliminate all the other noise that's going on.
Yeah.
So you'll learn and you apply them, and believe me, your life is going to be much better, way better.
Do you have a quote or something specific that you live by on a day-to-day basis that you like to share?
Um, nourish your mind, and the rest will fall into place.
Yeah.
So it's just like if you eat bad food, your health is not going to be in a good place, right?
Yeah.
So just the mind needs to be nourished as well. If you feed it all this negative noise, guess what it's going to react to? What it's going to be like. So just get some positive, powerful, motivating, inspiring words from people, from either it's quotes or videos or books, seminars. Get them all. Get them all. That's where you keep going. That's the fuel. It keeps you fit. It keeps your mind fit. So you can push through and ram through, like you're just saying, through those challenges that appear.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
That's what
awesome.
it's all about. That is it. Well, is
Yes.
there anything you would like to leave with our audience? It's been such a great a pleasure to have you
I
on
think,
and just to see your face again.
right. Um, it's when you reached out, Shermanda, I was like, oh my gosh, how can we be apart so long? We should have made contact a long time ago. And it because it's instantly started something that, wow, I remember this, I remember that, these memories. It's because they're really positive, and those are the folks that we need to be surrounded with. People like you and listening to you, and it's important that we continue to do that because we are exposed to so much noise that is we need to find good folks like you. And
Well,
once
I
you search
do.
one, you'll find them.
Yeah,
And
it's true. No,
thank
thank
you,
you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, and what you just said is it took so long, but I feel that everyone just going through their own processes, and I feel
Yes.
that everything aligns itself right in the right time, in the
Hmm.
right moment. Everything is destined in its place, and we're going to stay connected now.
Yes. Because as soon as I tell my wife what you just shared with me, she was like, "Okay, when do we do this?" She's gonna be
Yes.
ready.
Y'all have to just let me know. I am so ready for it. We can do it next week at the same time. Whatever time is best for her, get with
Okay.
her and let's bring her on because I would love to meet her. I've never met her. I saw the
Yeah.
picture,
It
but
would be a
I
pleasure.
would love to meet her and talk with her and just share with, like I said, there are other couples out there. There are
Hmm.
um, other lovebirds that need to hear that, this is
Yes.
how they're doing it. And you all did it during the pandemic. That is just so amazing to me.
And just to add, not too much to that story.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is while I was living in San Francisco, and she's over here in South Florida. We made it happen. So,
Wow.
I mean, we couldn't be any further apart.
And you had two weddings, not just one. I
Right.
love it. I'm here for
Yeah.
it.
So it was awesome. Awesome. And I can't wait to share that.
Yes. So I'm going to hush up because I'll get to talking and want to know more. I don't want to know any more until she's on this screen.
Gotcha. That'll work. Shermanda, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ricardo. And I want to thank the listening audience out there for being a part of A Winning World. I hope and pray that you've heard a sound within this interview that has touched your heart and given you hope, giving you faith beyond and
Yes.
not fear, taking that fear away. We speak, how you say, we bind and loose. So we bind up fear and we lose faith. We bind up fear and we lose faith in Jesus' name. So I
Amen.
just pray that you've been lifted, that you've heard something that allows for you to say, you know what, I can press on a little bit farther. I can ram through. I
Yes.
stated earlier, just put your head down and just go for it. You can't lose.
Absolutely.
And that's what we have to remember. Sometimes the very thing that's holding us up is our own self. So we have to get out of our own way. Get out your own way. So
Yes.
I want to again thank you all, and again, Ricardo, I thank you. I look forward to talking with you and your wife,
It'd be an
maybe
honor.
as early as next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
So,
do this.
and with my signature, with love, hugs, and mwah, kisses, I sign off. and say, I will see you again soon. A Winning World with Shermanda. Thank you. Blessings.